Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. Oh, I'm in the book. We about to have some fun. I got about one, two, three, four, five, six pages of information. We're gonna do a whole chapter. This chapter is about the scale of Mayat and the souls of Ra. Right there. I'm gonna break all that down for you, give you a good understanding, hopefully a good lesson. It's gonna be a while, so get comfortable and get in a good position. You might want to be comfortable for a minute. It's gonna take a minute. I'm gonna break it down though. I won't take it too long. I might break it in 2 or 3 lessons. Let's see how it go. All right, but the scales of rightism. I'm ready to get to work. All right, rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. You ready? Let's go. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You well known through. Yeah, that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, so you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right thinkers. Know thyself and to Maya be true. Speaking of my girl, you see on one side is the scales of Maya, and the other side is the seven souls of Ra, known as the chakras, but I'm gonna break it down for you. But Mayat with the seven scales, you see, Amit, when you from 3 down, if you didn't make it past the 3rd level, you ain't stand a chance. But let's go over this. It's gonna be a nice lesson. It says, master the fire of the back, the life-giving fire, the life-giving fire. What they mean is the serpent that sits in the sacrum. I'm gonna take you from the chakras in it. We call it energy centers, chakras, 7 arms of Mayat, the balance scale. But it's all talking about the serpent power that rises in you from the bottom of the sacrum of your back of your butt, all the way up to your dome, your number 6, eye chakra, Anhana chakra. Yep. So, and these are stuff that's inside you. It's gonna break down. Let me give you the lesson right now. Let's rock. All right. We on this page now. This is what it look like. The Mayat bars. Each one got a color. Each one has a concept. Each one had to be learned, mastered, and understood. I'm gonna take you through them in a minute. But you see at the top, that's Tahuti sitting on the top, keeping eyes on things. Now each rung on the scale represents the energy center that's inside us, the subtle energy centers. They call the chakras. The weighing of the heart of the deceased against the feather of Mayat was the oldest ancient concept. And you see here, they got numbers, letters, A somewhere around there, B, C, D. All this is breaking out. Now this is the two. This is Neptet and Aset, the twins in Mayat Hall. They stand in guard, watch over. This is Anubis. You got Tahuti up here in the baboon form. You got Mayat, which is her feather right here. This is your heart. That's the breakdown. Let me go through it. I hope you explain it a little better as I go through it. But you see, Goddess F with Mayat. She presides over judgment. Each rung on the scale, figure 1, represents a level, a chakra energy center of evolution of the heart consciousness. And at figure B, okay, that's the heart, the ab that's sitting on the scale. That's the heart of deceased. All right. It's going to weigh against the feather of Mayat. That's D. That's her sitting. I showed you that. And the Tahuti presides over your wisdom faculty of your deceased. That's him sitting on top as the baboon form in C. Now you got Anubis. He's E. He's making sure the scales are balanced before you get started. He makes sure you get a fair shake. He's the one to take you through the afterlife, okay? Before his father came down, started another story, but let's stick with this one, the shock, because when I get started, I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Let's try to stay focused with this and get this shocker thing. Hope you can understand it. Let's go. In ancient Egypt, there existed a concept of 7 vortex of energy. I let my man Sadi Guru, he explains it from India. He explains it pretty good too. But in the subtle spine called the Safak Ba Ra, that means the 7 souls of Ra. Ra impregnated 7 cows, the 7 sides, 7 cows, but the 7 is important, all right? But in India, they are called chakras, all right? So now in the beginning, Netta was the one. And then through what? The power of thought became 3. I was 1, I became 3. Amen, hidden. Ra, visible. Excuse me. Pratap, manifest. Self-created. That's us in the flesh. The, excuse me. That's the Holy Trinity of God. So from these 3 came what? Uncountable number of Nettas. It's a bunch of them in their all aspects, which through the extension of their consciousness, your mental thought power. Do you know that the ancients already had the brain mastered 10,000 years ago, figured out all these are the Nettas, all those is concepts of the brain, all those is ideas and faculties of the brain that now modern man has figured out. They knew that way back then. Okay? The mind, the power to think, created a projections, aka the illusions, in which we call creation, this world. Okay? 3 dimensions. There are the souls of Ra that represents, you ready? The soul, these are the souls of Ra. No, it represents Haru. That's the spirit that's in me and you. The netters sustain and they govern creation history. Elements, sun, fire, shu, air, tough nuke, moisture, Gab is earth, Newt was heaven. Those are elements that put together this illusion we call the world, creation. And it's all done through what? Their thought power. These are levels of creation with many sub-levels in each. And they are a total of 7 levels of consciousness. Watch this. The task for all humans is then to attune the 7 individual energy conscious centers in your human being with the 7 powers of the universal God through wisdom and virtue. Just gave that lesson. The knowledge of the attainment of wisdom by experiencing, practicing, and mastering. And the virtues are encompassed in what we call the 42 precepts of Maya. I just did that for you, modernize and dress up a little bit, have some fun with that. But this is the continuation of that. But the 42 precepts of Maya. When I started out 30 years ago, I was bad. Now I'm proficient. That lets me know I changed. Moving on. That's the only person that should be impressed. You're doing self-improvement. The only person you want to impress is what? Yourself. It's self-improvement. So by me learning and practicing the 42 precepts of Maya changed my life. I call it right thinking now, but it's the precepts of Maya. But which are multiples of 7. And in the 42 books of Hermes Tahuti, which contain the knowledge of the nature, they call the Emerald Tablets too. Okay, the Hermetic principle, all that good stuff. But it's Tahuti. It's all about the mind. Okay, he's showing you that's it. He's God's mind. The universe, which is also the subject of this volume. We try to teach you how to become one with the universal God, the conscious, the all-encompassing, the absolute, the universal, whatever you want to call them. Okay, you need to make that acquaintance for yourself. All right. And the psychic energy centers are located in what they call your spiritual body. And it runs parallel to the spinal column. We can see the spinal cord, 33 spinal cord, we know that. But the chakras, you can't see them, but they move up the spinal column, 7 in number. Okay, I'm break that for you as we go. In masonry, They tell you 3 degrees you're a master mason. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why? You don't know Jack. Okay? You don't know Jack. That's why. I'm telling you that. Why? I'm one, so I know. Teacher. Moving on. Laws of perfection. The perfected man. Let's move on. All right, but that's what the pyramid represents. All right, here we go. 42, okay, in this body. Now, the psychic energy centers are located again in the body and runs parallel to the spinal column. But these energy centers are 7 of expanding levels of consciousness. Each one carries a level of not intellect and consciousness. From the base of your spine, sacral they call it, the physical animal consciousness, that's the apophis. That's the giant serpent that wants to keep Ra from shining. Okay, he's inside you, caught waiting to what? Do what he do, strike. At the top of your spinal, your spiritual consciousness, at the crown of the head, we call it the Uraeus. They call it the Buto. Okay, that's the goddess that Apophis turns into a harmless female goddess and spirit, rather than being this big, bad, crazy, want to kill and destroy everything back to darkness type of person. You soothe him inside you. Knowledge will soothe the savage beast. Buto, Uraeus, that's the serpent, Uraeus. Now, as in India, in their same concept, they call it the chakra, we call it serpent power, or Shekhem. The Indian chakra system, the Egyptian 7 powers, are also related to the 7 energy centers in the spine, and they are linked to the awakening of one's what? Spiritual powers. Awakening. Once as one progresses on their spiritual path of what? Evolution, raising your conscious level, will either purposely employing a spiritual discipline, finding something that works for you, and you work it, practice it daily by studying and application of your spiritual and philosophical scripture. I study, I practice what I learn, I put it to use, I've learned what it is, manifested, so I know what I'm doing, why and how I'm doing it. In daily self-reflection and meditation of your learning, and through this process, cultivating of trial and error. You try this, that don't work, throw it out. When it works, keep it. Simple as that. Trial and error. Give it a shot. If it don't work, don't use it. I don't give you nothing that didn't work for me. Maybe it could work for you. I won't know why. If it didn't work for me, I won't give it to you. You had to get it somewhere else. Why? It didn't work for me, so I don't give it to you. That's why. And I ain't saying it don't work. It just didn't work for me. The Bible, perfect example. My pastor is proficient in that book. That book does nothing for me. Not one bit. But with his tooling, okay, respect. Again, like I said, it ain't for me. I ain't saying it ain't good, it ain't right. It just wasn't for me. And through trial and error, these centers will automatically open. What? Through good, righteous living. Y'all call it being Christian. Y'all call it, no, call it what you want. Righteous living is recognized by God. That's how you get blessings. You ain't blessed because you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew. You blessed because the work that you put in, God recognized that. And this allows one to now experience for him or herself what they call increasing communion with what? Their higher self. We call him God. You can pray till the cows come in. And you can hope and wish and all that nonsense. But if you ain't meditating, reflecting, listening, and implementing the stuff that you're learning, you won't get no results. Your prayers won't get answered, and you sure won't get a blessing. Blessing is done by deeds. You're doing good things, the serpent rises up. You do good deeds, God sends down the blessings. That's the concept. And what's this? It worked like a charm. When you commune with God through what? Meditation and good deeds. He recognized that in the process of raising one's spiritual power may be accomplished. How? By concentration with daily, with proper breathing and meditation on the meaning of the symbols. I got a bunch of them for you. Okay, this one. You see a triangle, a pyramid, but it's the perfect man. Okay, moving on. And the symbols are surrendering to the will of your higher self. Signs and symbols. I'm about to do a lesson now about, first of all, this is all college level information. This is esoteric teaching. This ain't your little high school, grammar school nonsense. No, this is real stuff. And if you ain't eligible to handle this, then you ain't ready for this. That's all. I'm not gonna break it down and make it. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, this is the level that I'm at. This is what I teach from. Moving on. But when you commune with your higher self through what daily meditation, proper living, and surrendering your will to what I'm only gonna do what I know to be right. That's what I'm gonna do the right thing. Why? That's how I earn what I get. Blessings. And these techniques will allow you to what now transform your waking personality, the ego self, so that now you may be able to discover your innermost self, which is who? God. Did you know that? Well, I thought God was. Yeah, see, I'm giving you something that you can actually use and benefit from and gain self knowledge. This should be done under the tutelage and the guidance of a qualified spiritual master, saint, sage, or guru, see, etc. A master who know what they talking about. That's it. I'm one of them, so I'm in the sage category. I'm working for the guru status. I'm working about mystical stuff. That's why I'm learning every day. Why? That's how it's done. Man, I'm still a kid at this thing. Moving on. And let's go over here. I just broke that down. Next page is, now we're going to get into the 7 chakra centers. This is the physical body. The chakra start from the sacrum, works its way up second, third. The heart chakra is right here. Throat chakra. Then you got the ajna, which is the third eye chakra. And this is the crowning chakra, 7th chakra, 7th rank. But in us, the chakra 7th is outside of you. But it's all conception. It's all the concept to get what you awaken. You become conscious of who you are. They called it Safak Bara, which means the 7 souls of Ra, or Safak Uja, which is the 7th serpent power goddess, Shibuto. All right. The subtle body and the energy centers in the human body, that's called the 7 energy centers. Let's go. They call it the psychic energy centers in your spiritual body, the astral body, are distributed throughout the spine, going up from the base to the crown of the head, the uraeus. Okay, that's why you see them with the uraeus on top of the head. That's a sign that they are conscious. They've awakened. Third eye tells you I'm conscious. I know who I am. Okay, and the first one is Sefakt, Sefekht. It means the corresponding is to the first energy consciousness center in India, and in Sanskrit is to what they call Muladhara chakra. That's the root chakra. That's the first one. Let's talk about it. Each one of these have to be studied, understood, mastered before you get to the next level. So let's start with the first one. Like in masonry, you can't get the next degree without showing what? Suitable proficiency in the preceding degree. Before you get a second degree, you got to be proficient in the first. We got 7 of them to go. Let's go. And it took you a year of studying to master each one of these. So that it took a 7-year study program. Man, that's how it's done. It doesn't make a difference what you want and how you feel. If you want to be one, that's what you had to do. Moving on. I was a teacher. I know. When you do this, it's also known as the Shishat. It is the root center chakra. First one. The color is red. By the way, red my favorite color. I just feel comfortable in red. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna let that stay there. But it's the root chakra, in which is located at the base of the spine at the bottom, and it is the level of energy consciousness where what? Where we use to manifest and project our body in a physical plane of existence, so that our spirit may be able to have a human experience in the physical realm. That's why we are here. This is a test. This is school. This is to learn. Why? This ain't to be over and over to keep living here. Why? The body gonna die. The spirit don't want to keep just going over and over, but that's what happened if what your consciousness is not recognized, not enlightened. And the energies here are concerned with what? The first level is survival. Okay? What? Self-preservation. You survive. And your issues in this unbalanced state manifest as fear. Okay? Selfishness, possessiveness, etc. All those is low-level things, but that the ego is pretty much in control of. The I, the me, this is what it relies on. Why? Because it's ignorant. It don't know itself. It don't have no God conscious. It represents what they call dormant, coiled up as a serpent, waiting to be released, and an uncontrolled sexual energy as represented by Apophis, the giant serpent. The enemy of Ra, who is Apophis. Our task as human beings in this form is to convert this sexual energy. I'm about to give you him men, okay? He's the controller of the erect penis, okay? Sexual energy. Showing you how to retain it. Return that energy and it goes back up. You got 28-day purification period, like the women got 28-day menstrual cycle. The men got a purification period where if you don't ejaculate and use your semen, it puts life back into you. If it can create life outside of you, think about if you save it. Ding, 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 ding. Try a year of semen retention. Some of y'all can't go a month. Try a month won't just do it, but a month should show you something. Wow, maybe something. Yeah, so you go on again. But if you put that time in, something miraculous will happen. We knew that ancient time. Why you think monks and nuns go to do that? Why? To take away the sexual urges, but to use that same urges to get them closer to God. That's why. Moving on. And your spiritual energy is when you save your semen, that's what's called the blessings from God. Purified semen, it goes up and come down. Claustrum, again. I know this stuff. I can't teach it. Why? I ain't proficient in it, but I understand it's told to me as a student. I learned it. I had to take a test. I could pass. Okay. But proficient in teaching it? No, y'all got to get them guys yourself. There's a bunch of them teaching it. All right. Get the Christ, the Christos, the oil. Okay. The cerebral spinal fluid, all that good stuff. Semen retention, all that. Okay. But you convert your sexual energy into spiritual energy. Excuse me. And that add years to your life, believe it or not, okay? Thereby achieving what they call expanded consciousness, okay? In the realm above and beyond what we call the physical. That's the astral plane when we go to sleep. We must develop and raise and master this energy. Ding, 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 ding. To the seventh energy center. Means you got to rise it. You got to rise it up to the top. Thus becoming what? You ready for this? One with the universe, aka God, and consciousness. You know thyself. But it takes the work. This is just starting. This is the first level. And the mastery of your primal energies is represented by the goddess Buto of Egypt and the goddess Kundalini in India. Where they at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I had a picture of y'all somewhere right here. Okay, somewhere else in the other book. Sorry. But yeah, okay. The first lesson, you just got to master your survival lesson, your your fears or the negative aspect of yourself. And remember, sexual energy. Retain that sexual energy and you'll become purified and add years to your life. Round two. It's called Teek, T-E-K-H. Round two. And it's also the corresponds to the second energy center, consciousness center, chakra. In India, the Sanskrit word is Swadhisthana. That's the chakra, number 2 chakra. In this area, the organs is procreation. So it's right around the genital area, okay? Right around there. See it right there? Number 2, this is the sacrum. This is the number 2, okay? Let's talk about that one. This is a little less controversial, but it's right here. Good information. Watch this. Now, in this area, the organs of procreation, where it is controlled by your higher senses, your cosmic energy may be absorbed and transmuted to create what? More than just physical offspring. Your semen can do something more miraculous than just what? Create life. Add years to your life. You ever know that? Didn't hear about that? See, this is stuff you can't get everywhere. Now, one may give birth, okay, to their untapped creative talents. However, if the individual has psychologically developed to this level only, he or she will be preoccupied with sexual matters. Zoom, zoom, and the boom, boom. Everybody want to trickle. Everybody want to get in. Everybody want pills, little red pill, little blue pill to have sex all 36 hours, all that nonsense. That's where y'all are at the second level. Y'all way off the beaten path, but y'all stuck on stupid, so to speak. At the second level, all your concerns is what? Pleasure of the flesh. The first level is survival. Okay. Second one, pleasure of the flesh. Let's go to the third one. See what that's about. Number three, that's the ab or the ob. That's the corresponding with the third energy conscious center. In Indian, the Sanskrit word is Manapara chakra. It's located at the solar plexus, right here in the middle. Okay, right above the navel. Okay, and this is where your vital fire, which sustains the physical body, is located. Everybody knows where the solar plexus is. Everybody. If you're in the health industry, you know what the solar plexus is. Why? Because it's the third chakra. They know it's right here. That's why everybody knows. And this energy center gives one a sense of what? Power and will. Meditation on this spot sends the second, which is the power, the energy, serpent power, your vital energy, they call it prana and chi, to this center, which now promotes what? Health, self-healing, holistic conscious, by increased digestion and equal distribution of what? Your energy throughout the body. The effect is physical and emotional balance. That's my girl again. Okay. And this is the prerequisite for what we call higher spiritual advancement. Now you're ready to move on to the next level. Why? Because these first three levels still at the beastly nature. And you see right here at the scales of Maat, at the third level, you still get eaten by Ahmed. See right here? Three things we just went over, you didn't make it past Ahmed. You will be reincarnated. Why? Because your conscious and your body going to be taken away. And the spirit guy come back again with what? No conscious, no knowledge of self. So they got to start all over again. The spirit don't care. It ain't caught up in that. This our situation we got to deal with. So now, when you have an imbalance or obstruction in this energy center, manifest as what? Feelings of inadequacy, powerlessness. One feels incapable of expressing their willpower, pretty much like depression, the state of low self-esteem. Don't feel good about yourself. No positive, nothing reinforcement. You just woolsy, wowsy, me, all that, feeling sorry for pity party. Okay, there you go, good one. But now, at the fourth level, something begins to change. At the fourth of the seventh energy center, you just crossed over into what? The spiritual zone, the backbone of Asar. From 4, 5, 6, and 7, those are the conscious levels of what? Higher consciousness. Now you're becoming spiritual. Those first three was physical, material, this world. Okay. Fourth, your heart. Start with this. Okay. Let's go. Now, where we at? The fourth of the seven energy consciousness centers, the chakras, represent the evolution of your spiritual life, meaning you're growing in spirit consciousness. Now, your divine nature, which is latent in everyone until what is woken, you have to wake it up. Your lower energy centers don't wake it up. No. 3 to 1 represents the life of your lower nature. So you ain't woke up your higher nature yet. And that's called your animal nature, your beastly nature, the sphinx. The body is of a beast. The head is of man. Man have consciousness. That's what they said. Go from beastly nature to consciousness, to know thyself. And animal nature, which seeks what? Only to survive and supremacy over others and gratification of the senses. That's the first three levels. Okay? Fight or flight, survival, sexual energies, and to control, manipulate somebody to do their bidding. Okay? That's low level thinking, low level living. And a lot of us live there. And some of us like it there. Moving on. But moving from your lower nature to your higher consciousness, now it becomes mental. Masons, Master Masons, you got first 3 degrees. You ain't really got no consciousness yet. Okay? You haven't crossed over. You don't know nothing about nothing except the stuff that we taught you about what you need to know. Other than that, you know nothing. Now you're going to start knowing thyself. And it represents what they call, you ready? Second birth. the birth of spirit. Okay? When you're ignorant, you're virgin. When you get enlightened, you just had a rebirth. Okay? You just been impregnated with what? Knowledge of self. That's the concept. Moving on. Now, at the fourth level, they call this Kepper. Okay? And this is the correspondent to the fourth energy consciousness center. Indian Sanskrit word is Anahata chakra. Okay? It's the location, the heart. I didn't give a crap about animals, none of that nonsense, until I got a damn cat. Now I'm a pet lover. I got a whole different concept about animals, so I learned that lesson myself. That's the heart chakra. I didn't get it till I started taking care of something other than myself, somebody who depends on me. I feed them every day, take care of them like they humans. Talk to them the whole night. Okay, moving on. But this center opens up the possibility of what we call the virgin birth, born again, enlightened, which is the spiritual consciousness as opposed to your lower animal nature consciousness. At this level, now your spiritual essence becomes revealed in the caring expression love for others. I just told you, when I got that damn cat, I turned to a different person. I became caring and loving for somebody other than myself. So I experienced that for myself. That's what I'm saying. That lesson I learned firsthand. Still got cats. And we'll have it. Why? That's my thing. Moving on. But the Kepper, or the Anahata chakra, is also related to the gland in the body near the thalamus, known as the thalamus, excuse me. Being very large in the babies, the thalamus shrinks as we mature. It gets smaller. Okay? The thalamus is intricately related, you ready? For your immune system, producing antibodies and to ward off infections. Okay, when your baby needs it, all you get, the less you need. That's the, again, these things are simple and it all makes sense. It is not surprising then that when we are stressed, our immune system weakens and we become ill, right? Through thought, power of thought can change the body structure. If we elevate ourselves when we become ill, what we will find that we are usually involved with self-defeating and self-destructive attitudes and behaviors, overworking, frustration, drug use, alcohol consumption, and bad relationships. All those are negative things that will bring you down, hold you down, keep you in a state of depression state of mind. You can't get nothing done, and you are not in a situation to freely give love to our very selves, much less to anybody in humanity or somebody else. We only love ourselves. If we are not cautious, we become trapped in this negative way of existence. A lot of us are. Been there, done that. Whole life, never got out, okay? In which becomes a vicious cycle. Generation after generation, reincarnation after reincarnation. Why? We ain't learning. Why? Who's teaching? I'm doing the best I could what I'm doing. But that's what I'm saying. Somebody got to do the teaching. How do we break this cycle? That's why I come in at. Now, listen, pay attention. Give me your ear. By performing daily selfless service, like I do here for you, to others, again, and a very difficult task. Why? When we feel as though we are the ones who need to be served. That's ego. However, we must remember the divine rule of thought, the cosmic law. What's that? You didn't know? To give is to receive. God blesses a cheerful giver. If you're giving a selfish servant, if you're doing something good and positive, God will make sure you receive what? Blessings. It all fall in line. Oh, I see the clock. Okay, I'm gonna hit this off right here. I got number 5, from 5, 6, and 7. I'll be right back. I got a whole other page of information. But right now, no, I'm not. I keep saying I'ma just keep teaching. Let's rock. This is gonna have to be whatever it's gonna be. All right, let's go to number 5 now. Number 5, Sekhem. That's the correspondent of the fifth energy conscious center in India. The Sanskrit word is Vishuddha chakra. This is the throat chakra. We call it Mm, mm, mm. Brain freeze. In the throat chakra, I'll come to me 1 second. And the Medjugorje, divine speech. Okay. Makaru. There we go. When you're speaking from the heart in the throat, speaking from the heart connected, you're speaking Makaru, honesty. And this center is involved with your ability to what? To receive love from others. I get unconditional love from my cat. Never knew nothing like that. Best thing going. Our self value. Watch this. When there's an imbalance in this energy center, it may be expressed as your inability to communicate our needs to help around to people around us and the world at large. Thus, it is also linked to mental illness such as harshness of the sore throats, which usually occur as a result of what? Communication difficulties such as shouting, arguing, and screaming in the attempt to be heard. I never forget my sister told me about 10 years ago, brother, right? It don't make a difference how loud you say it. If they ain't trying to hear you, it ain't gonna be heard. Thank you. All I was doing was making myself hoarse. And that's what happens. So yeah, again, these are lessons. I tell you, life lessons. If you live them, you'd experience them. Wow, that's what it is. It's real. Simple as that. All right, let's go. I'm gonna take it home. I see the clock. I'm gonna get you there. Now, number 6. Excuse me. Yeah, the sixth chakra, one of my favorites. All right, Mer, M-E-R. This is the sixth energy center in India. It's called the Ajna, A-G-N-A chakra, the third eye chakra. It is the third eye. The level of intuitive wisdom. You have reached a level now. You don't want to walk. You get the sixth level. Now your serpent power is at full tilt. You got your third eye open up, your spiritual eye. Now your intuitive wisdom that does not require what? Thinking or the mind process. This is what they call the third eye of Haru. That's the spirit that's in me and you. That's the light of intuitive vision. That's his mother's gift from her to him. Intuitive knowledge, knowing within yourself what you need to know without even thinking about it. That's what we have in us. That's the image of God. We can do that. Now, it is this level of knowing what? Something instead of thinking. Ding, 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 or believing. Called gnosis, when you experience for yourself. We know something. Herein lies your ability to be able to perceive one's spirit as well as matter. You see it, spirit inside human. You see the spirit inside man. And live in both equally. Heart, spirit, mind, consciousness. To become conscious of who you are, you can live in both worlds equally, spiritual and physical. You have to deal with this world anyway. When it runs out, spirit good to go. Why? I'm good. That's why. Number 7. Oh, we almost home. Let's go. This is called Ike. I-K-H. This is the corresponding. It's the 7 energy consciousness center. The Sanskrit word is Sahasrara chakra. Now, this is the energy consciousness level where the dualistic mind, you got two sides of the hemisphere. Your dualistic mind, symbolized by Apophis, and the life-giving fire, primal energies become what? United into one whole. This is where Apophis is transformed into the Uraeus we call Buto, the goddess of the highest achievement of all spiritual movement. This consciousness level represents the level of transcendence where the Christ anointing occurs when you become conscious of you and the Father becoming one, same concept, okay? But it is here with the merging of the individual by your soul with what? The absolute reality, the universal by Haru, Ra, Asar, Patel, etc. These are all high consciousness that we had to reach. And this occurs what? The same symbolism is expressed in the idea I just told you about the Sphinx, wherein you got the lion body, the beastly nature, your lower self of the Sphinx, emerges with the human head, higher self-conscious where God dwells. The temple not built with human hands. That's what God is in your mind. The Sphinx is also a symbol of Haru. There's a below, I just showed you a picture right here. Let me wrap it up with this. I'm almost home. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. This is what it looks like. Masons, y'all should know this. Okay, standing there. Okay, but they're showing you the physical body. But you see, from 1 to 7, outside the height. This is the 7 bars from Maat, the 7 scales. Okay, you see hers right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is inside the balancing scale. That's Tahuti keeping track. Okay, and the idea is that when you reach that level, you will be enlightened to what? Know all. Why? You become one with God. The absolute. You become one with God. So hence you know all. I just showed you a page from the book of Coming Forth by Day. Amet is devouring the sinful souls. If you didn't get past the third level chakras, you be sinful. And he shows that what? The difference between your animal conscience, senses 1 to 3, and those born in the spirit raise the conscious level from 4 to 7 by biting the staff of the scale of Maya at the point between the third and the fourth circles, which symbolizes what? That your energy centers of the body, Maya holds out her left hand, which is holding the Menet, symbol of union in the male and female organs. The 7 energy centers are also called the 7 Urases, the serpents, or right. A drawing from the Indian, I showed the body I showed you, that's the Indian Kundalini yoga, showing what? The location of the energy centers in the body. And again, I show you the 7 is outside the body. But that's the halo, okay? When you see Christ, you always see him with the halo. You always see him with a big heart. Those are all symbols and signs from the ancient times to let you know who and what he was. Y'all missed all of that. Let me wrap it up for you. In the particular version of the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day, we prepared initiate and the Kung people of Africa the knowledge of the life force inherent in the human body, which was known as Rabuto in Egypt, okay, Kundalini in India, Qi in China, Kwa and Ki in Japan, exist in various traditions. They all had a concept around the world, everywhere. The Kung nation of Africa, who reside in the Kalahari Desert, are one of the societies referred to as, we call them Bushmen. The clique, remember them? The naked guys running around, okay? They possess what? Knowledge of what they call the inner life force. And from ancient times, practice the disciplines to arouse it for what? The purpose of attaining spiritual evolution, aka enlightenment, to have what? Knowledge of self. That's the idea, that's the concept, that's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it took a little while, but hope it was informative. Hope you caught you up to speed with the concept of the chakras and Kundalini and the 7 souls of Ra. I'm out. Right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I know none of my right thinkers who now got a better understanding of Kundalini, serpent power, have passed away.